Hey brothers and sisters, it's me, long-haired Luigi, and as all my followers know, I've been doing everything I can to share peace, love, good vibes, positivity, and hopefully some comfort to others in need ever since I first got online sharing my cartoons and writing back in 1984. It's been a long, fun trip, and despite ups and downs, I've been doing everything I can to go ahead and continue sharing, and I'm really appreciative of the audience I have. I don't have a huge audience like other people do, but nevertheless, I'm very appreciative of them, especially since all the complimentary fan mails I receive and such have always been very, very heartfelt. So I very much appreciate all of you guys. However, I want to go ahead and share something with you. One of the downfalls of having any sort of an audience, and you don't even have to be a celebrity to do it, is that the more you are out in the public eye, the more the chances that you are going to get people stalking and harassing you. Now, I first started learning this in the 90s. That was the first time it happened. In the 80s, I had similar problems, but that was a completely different story. But I started getting strange individuals contacting me out of the middle of nowhere in the 90s who I didn't even know. And they were doing things such as one individual did, literally showing up uninvited on my doorstep. I mean, that was frightening. And I remember one time there was a comment that I saw on a talk show. It was right in the mid-90s, because at the time I was still trying to figure out why in the world is this happening to me, because it was so alien to me. There was a talk show host who was asking a new young actor, when did you first realize that you were becoming a star? And the young actor replied, when all the lunatics and the weirdos started crawling out of the woodwork. And unfortunately, it's true. Now, this is one of the main reasons I don't want to become a huge celebrity, because I wouldn't want to be dealing with that 24/7. But nevertheless, starting in the 90s, I did start dealing with some very serious stalker and harassment problems. And as a result, I've learned not to take it lightly. Whenever I deal with things like that, I have to report them to the police. I notify the authorities. I do everything I can to make sure I stop in its tracks, because unfortunately, you have to protect and defend yourself. And that goes for any of you out there too. It's unfortunately, as Paul McCartney once put it, the price of having an audience, because you have to take the bad along with the good, and it's just one of those facts in life. You're going to attract a lot of really cool, groovy people, but unfortunately, there's always going to be some nutcase out there who's going to go ahead and chase after you. I mean, there are some really, really sick, demented people out there. Some of them are really, really strange, and you do not want to mess with them. One of the many reasons why I am very grateful I never had to be a Beatle. Anyway, let me share a little situation with you that I've just become aware of this morning. There is a particular individual. He calls himself Rock Lobster 5074. Now, this individual, I have no idea who this person is, okay? But on a video on YouTube, I was having a discussion with a couple of other people online regarding some dealings with a person who I personally didn't care for. We were talking about an actor, and I was just answering someone's questions. Well, this individual, who is apparently, I'm guessing, a fanatic regarding this particular actor or whatever the reason is, I have no idea. You can't get into the head of somebody like that. Whoever this person is, the first thing he did is he decided to reply to one of my comments out of the blue. It wasn't even his video or his conversation. He just jumped in. Then this person has proceeded to go over to my personal YouTube channel here and has proceeded to leave rude comments on each and every single one of my posts of the few videos that I have shared, all of which I have deleted, and put copyright claims on every single one of them for no reason except for the fact that he is being a child and throwing a temper tantrum, including videos such as the Elton John concert, which Elton himself announced at his public concerts and online that he wants people to take videos and pictures and post them online and link them to his hashtag eltonfarewelltour. He's just gone completely nuts doing this on my account. Each and every single one of my videos, right down the line. I have deleted all of his comments, and I have also reported him to YouTube, and I have also notified the authorities. That's right, I notified the police. Because this guy just completely came out of nowhere, and I don't know who this person is, but I've learned to deal with things like this and to nip them in the bud. I have reported this individual, okay? Now, if he continues to do so, I will pursue it to the fullest extent of the law, and I will bring suit against him. Because unfortunately, as much as I would love to solve things peacefully and calmly, there are times with individuals like this where you have no choice but to call on the law. And that's exactly what I've done. This person is harassing. The irony is, he was saying in his comment to me, he was saying something along the lines of, "Boy, you've got serious issues, don't you?" And yet he is the one demonstrating that he himself has serious issues by thoroughly attacking my YouTube channel so obsessively. Clearly this guy has a screw loose, okay? The guy's a nut. And so I'm just letting you guys know I'm going to be okay. And I have let all the proper channels know about this. You know, as I say, I've reported it to YouTube, and I have notified the authorities right away, because I do not wait with this stuff. I take it very, very seriously. So I'm going to be okay. But if this individual continues, he's going to be in serious legal trouble. Anyway, this is not the sort of time, this is not the sort of thing that it's not like this hasn't happened before, okay? Like I said, I did have one individual literally show up on my doorstep. I did have several other individuals chasing me around because they believed some sort of weird thing about me or this or that or whatnot. When you're a public artist, this sort of thing happens to you. And so you have to be careful, and you do have to protect yourself. This is the reason why the Beatles, you know, have security around their homes. Why celebrities have security. This is the reason why security exists. Because the truth of the matter is, as the world has seen even with people like Adolf Hitler, it doesn't matter how peacefully we may like to live, how much we do not like conflict or anything like that, there is always going to be, unfortunately, somebody out there who is motivated by pure evil and has something seriously wrong with them and is going to go after you for whatever reason. It could be just verbally, it could be violently. But you never can tell in either case just what it's going to be. Unfortunately, it's a fact of life. The best way to handle it is not to retaliate, not to engage, not to do anything like that, but just simply report it to the authorities and let them handle it. And that is exactly what I've done, because clearly this person has a screw loose, and he is not normal, he or she. I have the feeling it's a he, judging by the picture that appears to be on their account. But I do not take this sort of thing lightly. So if this individual continues doing this to me, I will pursue this to the fullest extent of the law. So I don't want you guys worrying about me. We're going to see this through together, okay, guys? It's going to be okay eventually, because I trust the law to do their job. I wish it wasn't necessary, but unfortunately there were just some people out there who will not listen to reason. Harassment can take all sorts of forms. A lot of people don't realize this, but you know, way back, do any of you remember all those rumors that got started around 1969, 70 or so? Somebody, it was started by a DJ, I believe, started a rumor that Paul McCartney was dead and very obsessively went through every single one of the Beatles' lyrics and album covers, and they were putting together what were supposed to be clues that Paul was dead. And the Beatles had nothing to do with it. They're like, what? And so Paul was really freaked out by it. He even tried to retaliate in around 1970 or so and tried to create a special front page magazine article, you know, comforting people and letting them know that he was perfectly fine. And unfortunately, the furor that was started ended up using that magazine supposedly as clues or whatnot. And so the more of an audience you have, the more sort of nonsense like this you have to put up with. And there are a lot of really sick, twisted, and bizarre people out there in the world. And some of them have very, very serious issues, and you don't want to mess with them. But I'm just letting you guys know that it's just one of those things I'm having to deal with right now. And unfortunately, it's not always a bouquet of roses. I mean, it's been a long, wild, and cool trip, but it's also been a strange trip too, because as I say, every once in a while, some nut job comes out and pulls stuff like this. There was no reason for this person to do what he did. I mean, this is weird, okay? This is really weird. But I'm not taking any chances on it, so I went ahead and I've reported it. But don't worry, guys, I'm going to be okay. So I just wanted to tell you about that and share that all with you, because it is very, very rare that I get a response to any of my work that is actually negative. But, you know, if people deliberately try to come after me, I'm just letting people know, you know, anybody out there who's like this individual, not you, my readers, but anybody out there who's this sick in the head, who's going to try to pull nonsense on, like, you know, on me like this, I don't take this lying down. I report it to the law immediately. And so anybody out there who's going to try to harass me or my readers, you will suffer the consequences. I will report it to the law if you continue. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. It's going to be okay, guys. Don't worry about it. We'll see this through together. Peace.